Right, in this screencast I'm going to show you how to take lines from BNCweb and paste them into a Word document that can then be used in class. So some tips on that basically, and hopefully they'll be helpful. So the word we were looking at in the unit was prevent, and let's just do a search for that. So I'm looking for the verbal lemma of prevent. When we search for this in BNCweb, we'll notice it's really quite a frequent verb. There's 10,000 hits, and we were interested actually only in prevent followed by from for now. So one suggested way of getting just the from ones with the relevant hits is to look at collocations. With the settings I have, and log likelihood and this span, from is the most common collocate, in fact the most significant collocate. I'm interested in instances where from is after prevent, and I'm going to stick to ones where there's two intervening words, so that means from is the third word, and you'll see what I mean. So there's always two words in between prevent and from. So again, we've still got rather a lot of hits, and they're not actually in random order, so let's randomize them. Now we've got a page of random hits of prevent something from, which will probably be present us with enough useful lines for our. So I'll just take around 12 lines, which I can then copy and paste into an Excel document. Right, as suggested, we do right-click copy, and instead of pasting them straight into Word, Excel is quite a good kind of middleman in this to help with the editing process. So if we go to Microsoft Excel or other spreadsheet programs too are quite good for this, and what we need to do is, you can paste it, but it'll keep the colours and the same formatting as in the original document, which we probably don't want. So what's better to do is right click when it's ready, there we are, right click, paste special, and just paste the text. If you've got a different operating system, this might look slightly different, but I think that the basic idea is the same. So if we just paste the text in, it might take a second or two. We'll then be able to edit these lines. Yes, here we are. So most likely, is it going to play ball? Yeah, most likely you won't be interested in these first two columns, the number of the line, or this is the BNC file information and the line in the file. So you could probably just delete these two lines, create a bit more space. There we go. Now we can focus just on the concordance lines themselves. So like I say, Excel is quite a good kind of middle line man between the BNCweb and Word, because it's a little bit easier to delete, shift things around, align things on Excel than it is in Word, in tables in Word. But you might prefer Word too. So you can, at this stage, so we can see what we're dealing with. You might want to make the columns a bit wider. Yeah, come on, any time today. And generally have a look at which lines seem to be most representative or easier for learners to understand, or there might be various different factors that that are involved in a choice of particular lines. What was I going to say? Yes, the alignment. So from this point of view, it's quite a good idea. Here we are, format cells. Yeah, for the left-hand column, if we have a right center alignment, for the middle column a middle alignment, and for the right hand column a left alignment, which is what it is at the moment, it makes it look a bit neater. Yeah, there we are, that looks better already. Let's say I've been through all this process. Well, maybe I can just do this column too. If I do center and center, it'll just look a bit better when it eventually works out. Now I should be ready to, once I've chosen the lines I'm interested in, yes, I can. So I'm just interested in these ones. I can copy them into Word. I find that when I copy from Excel to Word, the table doesn't have lines, which isn't ideal. So I might want to add lines. There we are, and then that looks a bit neater, and perhaps make this a bit wider. Actually, just generally align it better so that the patterns that you want to show are, and the items that you want students to notice become more obvious. And obviously you could add another column before on the left with numbers, so it's easier to refer to which line you're talking about. But that's basically the way that, well, one way of preparing materials for class, adding some questions at the bottom. One way of presenting this kind of material is to delete the middle word and to get students to guess what is missing. So you could just to show that there's a word missing. This is one way of focusing students on relevant items in the co-text on the right or on the left. Although, like I said, you could just leave them there and ask some questions after, like what word can you always find on the right? That kind of thing.